Hi everyone and welcome back. My name's Alison, the Unknown Piano and the Online Tutorial. Hi everyone and welcome back. My name's Alison, the Online Piano and Online Violin Tutor. Today I'm going to take you through a quick and easy tutorial on Swordland from Sword Art Online. This has been quite a highly requested piece of music, so I thought I would give it a go. There is a performance that goes with this, and that'll be up here, or there'll be a link in the description bar underneath if you're on a mobile device and you can't get annotations. If you're here early to the video and I haven't quite got the performance video up yet, it will be done. The performance videos just obviously take a little bit longer to film and edit and put together and everything, but the sheet music to this is going to be linked directly underneath this video, so go and download that for free. Just before I start off this tutorial and go any further, I just want to quickly do a little bit of a plug for my own new website. I've got a new website called www.alisonsparrow.com. It will be coming up here. Go and have a look there. And it's a new website that I've just developed, which is just basically encapsulate everything that I do on YouTube, but much better categorized into a specific website for piano and violin and theory and all that kind of stuff. So for those of you that might underneath the comments say things like, do you have a video on third position? Do you have a video on pizzicato? Do you have a video on vibrato? That kind of thing. I know that I do have those videos on YouTube, but some of you just find it quite difficult to find those videos. So I've taken all of the thinking out of that and I've placed everything into one website, which has been categorized perfectly. So do have a look there, because there might be some videos there that you might have never seen or didn't even realize that I had available. More tutorials, other tutorials, all that kind of thing. So go and head there, have a look, give me your thoughts and feedback. There's also a blog there as well, which I'm going to be adding to sort of as and when I think I've got something interesting to say. So without further ado, let's get on with the tutorial. So first off, what I'm going to do is just very briefly explain. This is the same process that I do with the other ones. So all of the notes here have numbers in front, numbers above them, and they're all the finger numbers. Then we have the letters that are going to be the strings. So you're going to do a second finger on G, first finger on D string, third finger on D string, second finger on D string. So all of that's on the D until it tells you to change to the G, which is 2. Then you've got 1 on D. All of these are on the D until it tells you to change. It's self-explanatory. This music goes along with the backing track that I have tailor-made for you. So I have arranged this for easy violin. There is a backing track that is available that goes exactly with this as well, that I have done completely from scratch. It's a full orchestrated version. It has taken me more hours than I would care to admit to do the backing track, but hopefully you'll agree that it has been worth it. So if you want the backing track as well, head underneath and there'll be a link underneath where you can get that too. Okay, so I'm just going to take you through the most tricky parts. I'm not going to perform it all because I've already got a separate performance video on that. But to start with, okay, so the first line is pretty self-explanatory there, nothing exciting going on there. The next part is where it gets a little bit interesting. We're in the key of E major and we've got 4 sharps. So the second line, so let me just take you through what we've got there. So starting, let's just do it note by note. So the first finger, so we are now on the second line with, so measure 6, bar 6. We've got the first finger there. The next note is a D, it's a D sharp. So what you're going to do is slide your first finger back for a D sharp. It's otherwise known as E flat as well, but an E flat is a D sharp. Then the third finger is going to be stretched. So normally the third finger would go, say, here. The third finger for the C sharp you're going to put is going to be just above the dot or line that you've got there. So it's going to be stretched. The next one is a C natural, which is where the dot would be. And instead of doing a third finger backwards and forwards, I think it's easier if you did a second finger for that C natural. And then you've got another C sharp, and that's where your third finger is going to be ready there. So let me just play that through. So you've got So the E, D sharp, C sharp, stretched, second finger, C sharp, D sharp with the fourth finger or one, and then back to C sharp. It's better than doing I think it's better instead of, if you want to do 3, 3, 3, if you want to do that, then obviously go ahead and do that. But if you want to learn properly, the proper way of doing that would just be to pop your second finger in. Just follow what we've got on the music. And we go up to. So we've got a C sharp, so the second finger is going to be right behind the third finger, where the third finger would normally go. The third finger is a D sharp, so that's going to go just above where it would normally go, and then you've got an open E. Everything else is pretty much sort of self-explanatory from there on. The second fingers that you've got on the E string are also going to be next to the third finger. So if I just take you through that a little bit as well. So can you see? So the second finger is there for the C sharp. The third finger would normally go here in its normal position, but can you see there's a little bit of there's almost like a finger's gap in between the second and the third, because we're playing a D sharp. So that's where the third finger would normally go. Right next door to the second finger, but it's going to be stretched. Okay, then moving on to all of the flats. So it's pretty much the same sort of thing that we've just done. So everything is just going to be flat. So the first fingers are going to be back, the second fingers are going to be next to your first finger dot, and the third fingers are pretty much going to be almost next to the second finger. So I think, without getting too technical here, because otherwise I think it's going to detract from the piece, I think if you just, I'll put a note on the music to say that everything is just going to be pretty much back to where it would normally be, or if there's a section where there's loads of sharps, everything's going to be generally, all your fingers are going to be generally stretched above where they would normally be. I'll put that in the music so that just helps you a little bit, but just follow the fingering and use the tune that you know. Obviously you know this tune, which is why you're here trying to play this tutorial. So I think that's the best thing to do, just to use your ear, your knowledge of how the tune goes, and the fingering that you've got there. Otherwise I think it's just going to get really, really complicated. So moving on to the next bit. So we're on the fourth line down, measure 15 or bar 15. This is my favourite bit. So that's not actually too bad. The only thing you need to remember is that you must do some fourth fingers in there, or it'll sound like this. It just won't sound like anything. It won't really sound wrong. It just won't really sound like anything. So just make sure you've got your fourth fingers in there. I wouldn't normally put fourth fingers in, but I have to because of the flats. I cannot, it isn't an open E or an open A, it's an E flat and an A flat, which can only be played with the fourth finger. So just be aware of those. There are a couple of bits in there where you've got fourth finger on the E string, which goes to fourth finger on the A string. It's very difficult. Even I find that difficult to do, but what you have to do is just plan ahead. So when you put your fourth finger on the A string, don't put it on the very fingertip like you would normally do, because you want to roll over to the A. sorry, you want to roll over to the D string for the A flat. So what you want to do is sort of where you want to put the E flat here. So can you see the string is sort of running through the middle of my pink nail? Enough for me so that when I roll over, I've got enough fingertip left to go onto the D string. If I start with my fingertip on the A string for the E flat, when I roll over, I've got nothing there apart from nail, and all I'm going to do is sort of end up plucking the string. So it's very difficult because it is a weak finger. Even I struggle with it, but I kind of help myself by preparing for it. I personally might go into a different position, but again, that's not very beginner level. So for you guys that are starting out, that's the best thing that you can do there. So then actually the whole thing just pretty much repeats. So the bottom line on the first page. So that is pretty much the same as what you did on the second line. A little bit different, but again, everything is pretty much going to be stretched. The 26, 27 bar 28 or measure 28, the E that you've got there, I did it as a fourth finger E because trying to move from, it was just a little bit dodgy. So because you've got to remember that your third finger is stretched as well. So if you can put the fourth finger down, you can jam the D sharp or the third finger in right behind it. Another roll situation going on here. And then the next section is all flats again, which is basically just what we did. Which is just all the same there. Then with the last two lines, it's just a scale run. That first finger on the E has got to be back. And you have to do fourth fingers because it's E flat. So fourth finger's in next to third. Oh, sorry. And just so on until the end. So I'm not gonna lie, this is quite a difficult one to do. It's about as easy as I could make it. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.